Message from the outgoing group commander, Colonel Ricky
Polo. Welcome to NCRRCDG. This is from CMO Regiment. My NCRRCDG family, which I hope will be able to mention majority of them later. Our Red Reserve Unit Commanders na na-acknowledge din kanina ni XO. The only lady, the ASEC, and the rest are thorns. Pero joke lang yung thorns. We are all angels around another angel. The officers and enlisted reservists of our NCR Reserve Force family present here today, from the brigade and battalion commanders and even the company commanders are here present, and including one of my advisors, Lieutenant Colonel Ray Cruz, my Philippine Military Academy Maalab class of 1993 classmates present. I will start with the owner of the Philippine Navy, Captain Josel de Guzman, invading the Army. Wow, salamat. Of course, the G7 of the Philippine Army, Colonel Pat Amata, incoming brigadier. My squad mates from Alpha Company. Ang unang squad namin, ang squad leader ng unang squad ko, ang pupuntahan ko na brigade commander sa 601st Brigade. With us is Major Joseph Saludo. And of course, my second squad, ang favorite ko na squad mate kasi pag naglaro kami ng golf, lagi niya akong pinapanalo. Colonel Pete Borgonio of the Deputy Commander of Air Army Intelligence Regiment, of course. I'd also like to acknowledge the wife of Colonel Ga, Madam Margaret. And I also would like to greet our supporters, partners, close friends, and co-workers, those the ROTC commandants, and everyone watching through VTC, including Colonel Vladi Cagara, who is now currently in Australia for an exercise, and he was being supervised by another Mr. Colonel Arsing Sadural, and the DAFA in the area, Colonel Romy Bautista. Of course, my love and the center of gravity of our home, the former Miss Murcia Negros Occidental 1994 and now Mrs. Bunayog, my wife Jo, our children Johanna, she is now with the BCMT class 2. So natikman na rin niya yung butikan dyan sa Johanna. Of course, my son R. Jordan, our bunso, the prince of the house, R. Jason, we call him Jack Jack. Sa lahat ng mga nandito, ladies and gentlemen, mga kasama, isang maalab na umaga po sa ating lahat. Una sa lahat, salamat sa Diyos sa araw na ito. At dahil matagal na naman ako makapagsalita dito sa inyong harap ulit, please allow me to reminisce my RESCOM journey a little, sir. As it has always been the pattern of my previous designation, they are mostly providential. I was then taking my MNSA with Colonel Ga, Colonel Borgonio, and of course, Captain de Guzman. In June 2019, and was very busy with our Chapter 4 sa aming thesis. Ang thesis ko naman doon is about the security dilemma of Liwasan Mars area in Central Mindanao, which I will be going back again for my third tour of duty thereat. when I was asked by the Chief of Staff of then Comsolcom if would like to take the post as his U3. And of course, I said yes. I was excited to become U3 because I've always wanted to complete the 3 or operations ladder. Mula nung kadete, S23 din ako ng company. Of course, ang company commander namin si Pat Amata. And I was S23 of the best company of PMA during that time, Alpha Company. Maraming mga kami dito kaya...
Kunin ko na yun. Hindi kaya.
Because back then, we garnered 3 of the 4 major annual awards. Jurado Cup for being the most athletic. Of course, kay Major Saludo yan kasi knockout
Paano
lahat
ko yan
yung
is
tinamaan niya.
sulod?
Commandant's
Pangit
Cup
kasi.
for being the snappiest. Of course, nandyan si Pat Amata and si Pete Corgonio. I was also a commandant's lister during that time. And the Superintendent's Cup for overall excellence. But we missed the Dean's Cup, which was, I believe, awarded to the smartest, which I believe was won by the company of Gray, Eco Company, where Captain De Guzman also belongs. And of course, Colonel Ga is also a Dean's lister, the Commandant's lister. So, now you know why he is the next Group Commander of NCRRCDG. I also was the S23 of my Infantry Battalion, 66 IB, then the G3 of the Fighting Guest. Yung term na Fighting Guest, amin na lang yan sa Army. Fighting Guest Division, the 6th Infantry Division, where I will be going back after here at NCRRCDG. Gusto ko din sanang mag-U3 during that time because I thought it will propel me into another HPA staff assignment. And although I got recommended a couple times, but it was not meant to be. And so for a few days later, after saying yes to being U3, I was informed by the Board of Senior Officers that I will be assigned to 7RCDG as the then RESCOM Commander, Major General Lango, who I have closely worked with in writing the Warfighting Handbook when we were with 6ID, prodded the board members that he needs me at 7RCDG. Para daw makatulong ako sa kanya sa pag-develop ng reserve force in Central Visayas area. Admittedly, I was really hesitant to join the reserve force family. But as what I have shared with you during our NCRRCDG socials last Monday night, the passage in Psalm 37:5 prevailed that it says, God has a reason for allowing things to happen. We may never understand His wisdom, but we simply have to trust His will. Indeed, when we follow His will, everything will just fall into place. And here at RESCOM, I learned more about and become better at a new field than what I had expected. Most importantly, definitely, knowing all of you is a blessing beyond measure. The situation at 7RCDG was not the best, but I believe that I was able to contribute a lot into making a significant turnaround of the unit. In my 1 year, 4 days stay there, we were able to put up with the help of support the classmates to inject direction to the ROTC program, particularly in Cebu, Bohol, Negros Oriental, and even Siquijor province. With that, one of our cadets from Cebu became part of the Philippine Army contingent to an ROTC exchange program with the Hawaii National Guard in 2020, while our female ROTC of a series of many more cases. It dawned on me that what they told me about NCRRCDG have indeed some truth to it. I knew then that I got my work cut out for me, and my S2 was, and I believe, was the busiest S2 of all of RESCOM because of the number of cases he investigated. And Captain Paralag was the first S2 that I had when I arrived here. Thankfully, after lots of efforts to really educate, monitor, and with our reservist officers and enlisted NCOs serving as models to the respective troops themselves, such cases has significantly been reduced in less than a year. What I have learned in 7RCDG became the foundation of my approach in performing and accomplishing the NCRRCDG mission. Basically, we endeavored to make efforts towards earning respectability, enhance RRU performance to make them more relevant, and improve the implementation of the ROTC program, which we called the 3R program for respectability, RRU, and ROTC, as earlier stated in the award citation and shown in the ABT. When Major General Felipe assumed command of the RESCOM, we were encompasses some of our earlier efforts. And what we did was adjust and realign some more accordingly and continued with the others. Our focus on the first R for respectability is enhancing our systems and processes while improving our facilities, equipment, particularly on IT, to keep with the demands of the pandemic, which focuses on online lectures. For looks, arami na, guwapa at guwapo pa. Palakpak naman dyan. Definitely, mas snappy, focused, and dedicated, patriotic, and model citizen soldiers. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams. Let's keep it up. As to our ROTC program implementation, our third R, we made a series of innovations as we went back to the basics. We ensured that our troops have what they need for administration and support to motivate them to be at their best always as they impart knowledge to our ROTC cadets. For the past 3 semesters, we have significant increase and awareness and renewed interest in the ROTC program. Of course, kasama na rin doon yung pag-iikot ni General Felipe sa lahat ng sulok ng Pilipinas to promote ROTC. He appeared on TV, sa mga radio stations, and of course sa social media. And on the part of NCRRCDG, we started our campaign to enter into Memorandum of Understanding with the higher educational institutions to have their commitment. These schools are mula sa UP, Diliman, hanggang sa PUP, and our latest na naging partner namin last Monday lang, ang Philippine College of Criminology and the STI Group. Ang kanilang branch na magkaroon na ng pilot training ng ROTC para next year, they will be able to implement the whole ROTC in their 70 schools nationwide. That also shows that the ROTC program has regained the awareness and the attention it deserved. As expected, there were schools that were not ready to be transparent yet. And so we will be forced to suspend partnership with them. I hope they will reconsider, and I will brief the new group commander, Bok, about those schools, as he himself is the current ROTC commandant of the pamantasan ng lungsod ng Valenzuela, along with our other classmates at PMA. Ang commandant ng De La Salle University Araneta ay si Colonel Randy Remonte. He is the current Army Provost Marshal. Ang commandant naman ng New Era University is Colonel Dan Alzaga. Ang commandant ng Bestling College of the Philippines ay si Colonel Mars Gayat. Ang commandant ng pamantasan lungsod ng Maynila ay si Colonel Vlad Cagara, yung na-mention ko na nasa Australia ngayon. Sa UST naman, kakatapos lang din ng stint niya, ay si Colonel Dick Lapitan. He will be replaced by Colonel Boboy Villariza. And the Commandant of Quezon City University, our new ROTC unit, is no other than the Commander of the Army Artillery Regiment, Colonel Chief Coronel. Kahabol din daw sa in a while. Of course, we have many other carefully selected commandants, including our organic officers who have contributed to the ROTC program implementation. While we have made significant strides in improving NCRRCDG performance, there are more incoming projects and programs which I will pass on to the new group commander. We will have, of course, a new web presenter, courtesy of G6PA, fund support to finish the NCRRCDG bleacher from G4PA, which incidentally is also our staff, Colonel Dennis Idoba. Actually, ang unang program, sir, yung naunang bleacher, i-repair lang sana namin, natumbahan ng akasya during the bagyo, kaya nag-start na namin kami sa una, sir. Tatapusin na din na, parating na rin yung kondo. Paluwag mo na lang po. Tinulungan din tayo nila G4 to upgrade our transformer from just 25 kilovolts to now 75. Kaya mas kaya ng mas maraming naglo-load, gumagana ng mga electronic equipment. The repair of the roofs of the NCRRCDG admin building and our barracks and living quarters, courtesy of our DCMT Batch 1 graduates who are engineers with DPWH. Nandito ba sila? Yung sila ano just yung ano natin, mga engineers natin, umalis na. Pakisabi na lang thank you ulit. Baka January pa daw yun ang program, no? And implementation ang January. So hopefully mabawas-bawasan yung mawala na yung tulo ng konti ng tubig. Ay ng ulan pala. We have earlier contributions from OG3, OG7, OG8, and OG9 last year. Earlier, our BCMT 2021 graduates also helped out in upgrading our rappel tower. Of course, the equipment of our beloved ASEC and Quezon City Brigade Commander, Colonel Joan Lagunda, have lined up for the NCRRCDG, aside from the 1.4 million worth of HADR and other equipment she had donated earlier for NCRRCDG. May parating ka, di ba? And not counting the times when we really went out with full stomachs during activities, clean-up drives, tree planting, and other important occasions here in NCRRCDG. Pagka nandyan si Colonel Lagunda, busog na, masaya pa. Kaya pagka gusto niyo maging busog at masaya, invite niyo rin lagi si Colonel Lagunda. Earlier this morning, we have the inauguration and the turnover of the NCRRCDG multipurpose building through the initiative of Senator and Brigadier General Francis Tolentino through the TCAS program, of course, graced also by our Commander, General Felipe. This will definitely increase our facilities and training readiness and capability. We also will be waiting for the upgrade of the headquarters company building from the benevolence of our other active reservists, First Lieutenant Chu, First Lieutenant D, and Technical Sergeant Chung, who have been with us with the refurbishment of our new and now modernized 3 cubicle comfort rooms. Ano na yan, ma-present na talaga namin, na-snappy na talaga yung comfort rooms na yan. We had our turnover the last Friday. Pwede na rin niyang matulugan actually, pero nung plebo lang yun, kaya hindi pwede ngayon yan submit. Lieutenant Chu and Lieutenant D and Lieutenant Chong, Technical Sergeant Chong, were also with us in the establishment of the NCRRCDG Radio Communications Project, which includes 73-foot tower and the repeater we had at GHQ, to which PRCMO under Colonel Lagunda, meron din kaming memorandum of partnership with PRCMO last year. Dudugtong ang PRCMO sa current natin na radio communication system. Maglagay din siya ng additional repeaters and radio sets to boost our HADR and cleanup operations capability along the 27.5 kilometers Pasig River from Baseco area to the Laguna Lake area and all the other parts of NCR. We will be sustaining our Memorandum of Agreement and Partnership with the Pasig City Circle of Presidents for our centralized bloodletting, where we have 30% share of the blood we generated from the donation of our organic and reservist personnel, which sustain the requirements of our troops, and this is through the initiative of Captain Dr. Maria Sharon Reyes. Thank you, Doc Shaq. And Doc Sharon also spearheaded the upgrade of the NCRRCDG Pasad, yun sa kabilang side, the medical dispensary, and the beautification of the hallway, including the Commander's Wall. Kung hindi ka masyadong gwapo, gumwapo ka na sa Commander's Wall ni Doc Sharon. Kaya, lalo na si Colonel Ga. Kang magalalabo. There will also support from our other partners from Kamanaba, particularly Technical Sergeant Dente, of course, the Battalion Commander, Major Catolico, and the others we have thanked earlier, including the indefatigable Lieutenant Colonel Casa. Ito pala si Colonel Casa, wala mo? Nabisi siguro. The support from Lieutenant Colonel Ayap of Lyceum of Alabang. Sir, thank you very much. And our latest partnership with the Chinese General Hospital, where we are assured that injuries, God forbid, derived from the actual performance of duty of all organic and reservist personnel from NCRRCDG will be admitted free of charge until they get well, courtesy of the vision of our silent but sincerely effective operators, Lieutenant Colonel Heidi Ilanggarin, ma'am, tayo ulit, and her buddy, Major Alex Chan. Napakalaking bagay po sa atin dito sa NCRRCDG. We will be conducting our bloodletting with Chinese General Hospital on 04 September, and naka-arrange na po yan. Thank you very much, sirs and moms, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, when harnessed appropriately, NCRRCDG and its Ready Reserve units, ROTC units, and the Reserve Force component can definitely turn the tide in nation building, the fight for insurgency, and making our lives better here at NCRRCDG. There have been challenges, of course, but when our intent to serve is pure, we continue to talk and achieve things together, better, and happily ever after. Parang fairy tale na yun. But dreams do come true when we keep working hard for it. To everyone who is part of these great endeavors, thank you very much. We are blessed to have known and worked with you para sa bayan. With the mindset we have tried to adapt at NCRRCDG and the efforts of our Commander, Major General Felipe, that he has initiated, RESCOM will be the unit of the future. The perfect transition from the ISO climate we now have into the primary development and stability anchor of a well-blessed nation and people. We in RESCOM must be among the prime movers in ensuring national security by developing the reserve force and nurturing our youth through the ROTC, the rock where our nation's existence should be based upon. Of course, it will be an easier sell if we can bring in more of the best and the brightest of our personnel and of course the required equipment. Definitely, my NCRRCDG stint will never be fruitful without the support of our most important resource, our personnel. I would like to thank my former deputies, Colonel Ray Malapad, who is now with 3rd RCDG, Colonel Haron Akas, who is now in Tredo, and now my deputy, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Robio, who is currently also the G8 of RESCOM. My with Lieutenant Colonel Noel Cagasan. I think he's now with 15. 8 RCDG. Colonel Benny De Vera. He just graduated from MNSA, I think. Our ongoing MNSA. And our our current very snappy XO. He's also the former S2 and the current 13030. Thank you very much. Of course, Lieutenant Colonel Jas Ismail, the 1304 CDC, Manila CDC Director, who is my ROTC point man and executor. He always plays the sour when we have to play the sweet and sour game during MOU conversations, negotiations. I usually play the sweet, he usually plays the sour. Pero effective yung namin, kaya ang taas. I would also like to mention my former S3, Captain Lomil Prado. Dito ba si Lomil? Dito siya nung Sunday. Who brought a different twist to the word S3 with his energy and innovation. My current S3, Captain Julius Ilieso. Jules. Thank you very much. Who is silent, complicated. My former S1s, Major Tony Armateo, First Lieutenant Matt Kapay-Kapay, now with 1304. And now the current S1, Lieutenant Ann Manawis. Tandaan. Thank you. Who kept the morale and records of personnel going. My former headquarters commandant, Lieutenant Al Suliman, and the current camp commander, the current headquarters commandant, Lieutenant Weng Espartero. Santoy. Yun, nandiyan. Who has continued to improve her systems of making our personnel ready and effective in the respective tasks. Siya din ang taga-subaybay sa 3 times a week na taibo, push-ups, sit-ups, and takbo. Kaya alam na kung sinong mananalo sa panser, sa sa RESCOM Rego de Dios Challenge. Volunteer sila ng Spatero doon. Yun lang. Mag-practice ka na rin mag-river crossing. Sabi ni Kom, may river crossing. My former S2, na-mention din namin kanina, Captain Charles Paralag, who bore the brunt of the initial salvo of investigations. But before he went naman, from normal once a month, nagiging once a quarter na lang. And the current S2, Lieutenant Ray Cucon, who continued to be with his multifunctional wizardry as investigator dahil S2. RCDG. Ray, salita ka nga dyan. Good morning.
It's showtime, NCRRCDG.
Manlaban namin yan. He is also our coordinator par excellence to the different army units and civilian outfits which led to the kapihan sa katihan ng Seymour and the Katropa Quad Media initiatives and our latest na so okay lang ba? 8? Para mas lalong gumawa po. Lieutenant Dan Po, who is the Assistant S3, the S6, and the wiper sa staff officer. Kung saan pwede siya yung panlaban namin. Saan si Dan? Dan? Siyempre, ang kagandang lalaki niya ay may pagka-Fernando po. Pero PO lang sa kanya. Major Joven Puyungan, who manned the farthest post as Kamanaba CDC Director. Siyempre, pag Ranger, farthest post kagad yan. Of course, while maintaining the ferocity and grace of a panther. Tama ba yun, Joven? Of course, Major Bob Montemayores, the Deputy Director of 1303 CDC, and Bob. Our innovator, inventor, rappel and zipline master, engineer, kasi siya din yung gumawa nitong magagandang kubo na nagpagawa din yata si Asek. And of course, dun sa kanila. Disaster responder. Marami ang sumasablay din sa likuan. Fortunately for them, parang pag nandyan si Major Montemayor sa labas, may nagtatambling dyan. So siya kagad ang nagre-responde. Pero sana wag na silang laging tumambling dun. Lieutenant Jab Reyes, who has continued to make things better, not only at 1305 CDC, but the whole NCR as well. Saan ka, Jab? Yun, Lieutenant Jab Reyes. I also would like to mention the 1302nd CDC Director, and at the same time, the G4 of RESCOM, Lieutenant Colonel Ariel Marquez. Ang kanyang deputy, dati si Major Dennis Manalo, and now si Attorney Dondon Arnado, na nag-arinar, kaya wala siya ngayong araw. Of course, I'd like to mention Captain Aris Aguilan. Andito ka ba, Father? Andyan pa. Thank you for being with us, na bawas-bawasan ang nadagdagan ang aming blessing dahil nandyan ka. Muntik na ako magkamali doon. Actually, kung wala ka, meron din kaming additional na pari dito. Ang aming Sergeant Major, si Technical Sergeant Tony Hernandez, whose prayers during invocations definitely reached the heavens and helped us achieve our goals. Of course, while leading the EP Corps of the NCRRCDG. Our First Sergeant, Technical Sergeant Lito Diso, who always remained at the background. Halos hindi siya nagsasalita. Pero lahat ng may green dito at gumagalaw at tumatayo, siya yung isa sa mga author doon. At pinaka-grandmaster actually. Technical Sergeant Lito Diso. Technical Sergeant Jerry De Mesa, who remained as steady as his personnel management duties. Siya ang ating Chief Clerk ng S1. Jerry. Siya din yung automatic na tagabit ng lupang hinirang awit kawal. So, imagine nyo na lang kung may hawak siya ng microphone para sa video kay mamaya. Technical Sergeant Joy Taberdo, who carefully assisted S3 in running the complicated tasks during activities and trainings. Saan ka, Joy? Sa likod. Maning walang envelopment. Technical Sergeant Marvin Castillo, who is as cool as the online preparations, being the signal NCO. Sir. Saan si Marvin? Sir. Nandiyan. The Chief Clerks of the CDCs, Technical Sergeant JP Marangan. Dito ba si JP? Thank you. Sino ang Staff Sergeant Tayag? Dito ba? O sinong taga-13 mo to? Yun. Thank you. Sergeant Roland the Great Padriquila. Ang favorite sa YouTube. Ilan ang followers mo? 1 million. Mayaman na yan after 2 weeks. Kasi malaki ang kita doon. Keep it up, Dan. Staff Sergeant Mel Conmigo. Andito ka, Mel? Of 1304, Manila. And Staff Sergeant Abrix Villapuerte, who have kept... Saan si Abrix? Dito? Sino ang taga-1305 na nandito? Si Rolen? Yun, Sergeant Rolen Luso. Who kept... Those chief clerks kept the respective CDCs up to the various challenges. I'd also like to mention Staff Sergeant Dolor Paraiso. Andito ba si Sergeant Paraiso? Wala siya kasi siyang nagluluto. So alam mo na kung ano yung trabaho niya. And he made sure that we have all the nutrients we need. Of course, the ladies of NCRRCDG, who made sure that the woman's stats remain dominant. Kasi ang pinaka-senior nila ay Ilongga din. Kagaya ni Joe saka ni May. Staff Sergeant Risa Descalzo. And her virtuous entourage. Please stand, ladies ng NCRRCDG, to be recognized. Tingnan niyo naman niya. Sabi nila, ba't ang dami niyong ashiret dito? Yeah. Pero, hindi rin yan may... Ay, nandito si Flong. Tago ka, Flong, of course, the gentlemen of NCRRCDG, na di ko lahat na mention, ang ating mga batang sundalo. Please stand to be recognized. Sana yung mga staff sergeant, pero mukhang PFC pa rin. Sinang mag-volunteer na private. Thank you very much, mga anak, gentlemen. And I would also like to mention my special team, ang aking kabady na nag-rotate habang gumagala. Technical Sergeant Kiko Tuisa. Yun, nandyan. Sergeant Joel Taber. And TFC Joel Bin Martillero. Hanggang alas 2 ng madaling araw kanina, nandiyan pa rin siya. Kaya, thank you. Who kept me company. Our Saro people, Search and Rescue Unit, the primary HADR instructors and responders of NCRRCDG, please stand to be recognized, taga Saro, under the leadership of Lieutenant Mendoza, the company commander. The engineer company, who stayed until beyond midnight kanina, kasi hindi namin natapos kagad yung tiles dun sa dulo. Si Master Inocencio nandito. Nandito naman kanina. Please stand to be recognized, taga-engineer company. Engineer talaga yung mga yan. The medical company, the troops of under Captain Sharon Reyes, who provided stability in every activity mula sa bloodletting, tuli, soup, kitchen, outreach efforts, hanggang sa reception ng mga BCMT and ROTC. Pag reception ng mga ROTC, okay lang yan, mga bata pa yan. Pero pag BCMT na yung in-reception namin, talagang titigan kami sa mukha kasi tingnan namin kung ano yung si Tok Sharon ang bahala doon. Our civilian human resource, si Ate Babes. Nandito, si Jessica, wala yata. Who takes charge on all the commissions and other concerns. To everyone who have contributed to the success and triumphs of NCRRCDG, I'd like to mention the brigade commanders of the RRUs, starting with General Francis Tolentino of 1501st Red Reserve Brigade, of course, kay Lieutenant Colonel Joan Lagunda of 1502nd Quezon City Red Reserve Infantry Brigade, the Colonel Pajarillo of 1503rd, represented here by his two best officers, Colonel Ayap and Colonel O. Thank you very much. The 1504th Red Reserve Infantry Brigade under Colonel Arsenio Andulong, na classmate din namin ni Pete Gorgonio sa CGSC. And of course, Colonel DTC, Colonel Baltasar Katbagan, sir. Of course, ang ating mga battalion commanders, Major Catolico of 1301st, Major Rufino De Leon of 1302nd. Ang i-organize din natin na 1302nd-1 Red Reserve Battalion under Lieutenant Colonel Albay. Ang 1303rd Red Reserve, the Model Battalion of NCRRCDG under Colonel Rolly Noto, sir. And 1303rd-1 under Lieutenant Colonel Lanoza. Thank you, sir. The 1304th Red Reserve Battalion under Lieutenant Colonel Xavier Celestial. And 1305th Red Reserve Infantry Battalion under Lieutenant Colonel Alex Cervera. Daghang salamat, maraming salamat, and thank you sa inyong lahat. I will forever cherish those moments we shared through thick and thin. Thank you very much for the support, cooperation, sa pag-alaga, the comradeship. You will always be family to me. I would also like to especially mention the support and wisdom of our RRU commanders na na-mention ko na kanina. Until our next activities, ma'ams and sirs. Finally, I'd like to look back at my statement when I assumed command of NCRRCDG, which I quote, "As your group commander, I will ensure that we have the same understanding." Before pala makalimutan ko ulit, pasalamatan ulit ang aking wife, and of course, ang aking mga anak. And my first cousin, muntik nang makalimutan, Engineer Bunayog. I will ensure that we have the same understanding of our collective task and be focused on our respective individual tasks as well. I will ensure that all officers, including myself and our NCO leaders, down to the CDCs, are involved in the management of our respective resources. We shall all share the burdens and triumphs of the responsibilities we are accountable for as servants of the people, as citizens, army builders. We will be a solid team. Sinabi ko din, likewise, I will especially put premium on mission accomplishment alongside personnel welfare. I will ensure that the physical, mental, spiritual, and social aspects of our existence will be attended to. I will do my best to be fair, just, and purposive in all my dealings. Whatever I will tell you to do, I am willing to do it myself as well, and more. As I have always emphasized in my previous units, we will work and think as a team and as integral part of RESCOM and the Philippine Army Organization. That said, sir, I can honestly say that I have given my best shot and achieved most of them, and our troops know that very well. Colonel FERDINAND Mnsa, I will be turning over to you a reinvigorated NCRRCDG, effective, efficient, and relevant. Again, I would also like to thank for the third time, my wife and my 3 children, whom I will be leaving again to perform frontline duties. Thank you for your understanding and support. Major General FELIPE, sir, thank you also for the opportunity and the confidence that you gave me. I gave my best shot for NCRRCDG, sir. Thank you, my NCRRCDG family. I am looking forward to work with you all again soon. Kung gusto nyo, kung may time kayo, bisita din kayo sa Maguindanao. Marami kaming kape doon. Sa muli, isang maalab na umaga sa ating lahat. Pasensya na at napahaba, pero good for 1 year yun.